Okay, so let's begin with the first question. What's the meaning of client-side programming? Why JavaScript language can be considered now as a client-side programming? So JavaScript is a client-side programming because when we not related to server, yes, it is not related to server. That means the code is in the client side, so we can insert some scripts in the HTML document, and after that, using only the browser, we can execute this script. So unlike PHP, for example, so PHP is a server-side programming. When we want to execute a PHP code, we must use a server to execute this code. But JavaScript can be executed using only the client, our client application. Yes, it is run in client side. So SQL, it is not a language to produce HTTP response, but when we use SQL, we use a server of database, and after that the server application connect with the server of our database to fetch some results about a specific query and prepare a response, and after that send the response to the client. Good. What is the second question? What is the file extension of JavaScript code? Yes, .gs. So .gs is the file extension of JavaScript code. Okay, third question. So JavaScript code can be inserted in the HTML document, and in this case we use a tag, a special tag. So the tag is a script, and this tag must be in the head. Okay, and also we can use an external file, and after that we just specify the href of this file to make connection. Okay. Next question. JavaScript supports input-output statement, yes or no? No. So JavaScript has no input-output statement, and in this case, how we can communicate with JavaScript code? If we want to make input and output, we use alert and prompt. So alert and prompt are input-output methods. Okay. So to declare a variable in JavaScript code, we must use a special keyword, yes or no? So var is required or not? Not. So var, it is not required. We can simply use the name of any variable, for example x, and after that x equal 5, That means X is a number. Yes. Good. How many data types support JavaScript, are supported by JavaScript? 6. So what are these data types? So number without S, string, boolean, object, also null, and undefined. Yes, good. So JavaScript has 6 data types: number, string, boolean, object, null, and undefined. What is type of? Type of. Is an operator to yes, if a variable has to know the data type, or if a variable has a certain type. Yes, good. Check to which type return and return string. This is an example of type of. So when we write variable I, variable G, and after that G equal not a number. So if we write alert E is, so this is a string. I is here, and after that plus type of I. Type of I is undefined. Why? Yes, Mr. Abdallah. JavaScript can be used to communicate with the server, and we talk about Ajax. We will investigate this part in the next chapter, inshallah. Yes, so because it is not initialized, or it has not a value, so I is undefined. G is string, so type of G return string, and type of I return undefined. Good. Let's move to, so syntax rules for names must begin with letter or underscore. In JavaScript, the variable must contain only letters, underscore, and digits, or certain other characters, and must not be a reserved word. So a variable will automatically be created if a value is assigned to an undeclared identifier. So here testing is a variable, and it will be automatically be created. But the recommendation is to declare all variables. Why? Why it is preferable to declare variables? Why it is preferable to use var to declare variables in JavaScript? So to avoid certain exception, and also to facilitate maintenance. So in JavaScript, There are many Java-like keyword statements. In JavaScript, there are many Java-like keyword statements, like if then else, do, while, for, continue, break, etc. Also, we can use operators like equal, or different. So to declare function in JavaScript, we use the keyword function. After that, the identifier representing function name. After that, the parameters list of the function. This is a call to a function. So to make call, we just use the name of the function, and after that, here in our case is 1, 2, and after that, value of the parameters. Any question? Good. Just a moment, please. Do you hear me? Okay. So I return to your questions. Small exception. If the function returns nothing void, do we have to write return in body of the function? Yes. So in JavaScript, if the function returns nothing, we write return semicolon. Return semicolon. Okay, let's move now to object. So the question is, does JavaScript support classes? Can I, for example, create a class in JavaScript like Java? Cannot. So keep in the mind that there are no classes in JavaScript. No classes. Okay? So the question is how we can create objects and properties. It is very simple. we just write variable object. For example, our example here, var 1, this is the name of the object. After that, equal new object. So in this case, we create an object, and when we create this object, we can create property for this object by write o1.testing equal this is a test. I can write also o1.x equal 5. So in this case, our object has two properties. I can write o1.y equal 3.2. In this case, our object has three properties. And if we want to eliminate a property, we just write delete. So delete is used to eliminate a property from this object. Any questions about object? No, 3.2, that means 3.2, like comma 2. It's a float. It's a number in JavaScript. Yes, decimal. Any question, other question about object and how we can create objects in JavaScript? Good. So a constructor is a function when called via new expression, a new empty object is created. So when we write var o1 equal new object, a new empty object is created, and after that we can add properties and methods to object, and we can add object to an inheritance hierarchy. So the object building constructor does not add any properties or method directly to the object. So for example, adds object to hierarchy that defines default to string and value of methods used for conversion to string and number. So we can create an object by another manner, like this. So object can be created by using new object. Also, object can be created by using object initializer, like this. So in the second example, when we write var o2 equal p1 5 plus 9, p2 null, testing this is a test, we will create a new object with how many properties for this object? How many properties for this object? o2. 3, good. So 3 properties. The first property is p1. The second one is p2, and the third one is testing. Any questions? like P1 and P2? Yes, we can, for example, write P3. So here we can write any name. Testing here, can I call it like P1 and... So testing is the name of a property. P1 is the name of a property, P2 is a name of a property. So when we create an object in JavaScript, we just write a variable. After that, the name of the object, for example, object equal. After that, here name of a property, column, value, comma, name of a property, column, value. And we can write anything as a name of a property. So I can write X, Y, testing, P1, P2, anything, and anything as value. So if, for example, I write here X, and we want X as a number with a value equal 5, I write here 5. The second property, for example, name, N-A, the value is Ali. So value Ali. Okay. So P1, I can write after that O2.P1 equal 5. So P1, the value is 14. After that, the value will be 5. I can write O2.P2 equal Ahmed. So the value of P2 is null. After that, the value will be Ahmed. I can write O2.testing equal Salah. So I can write here P3. Object.x equal 5. Yes. Welcome. So there is a special form for statement used to iterate through all properties of an object. So if we have an object and with many properties and we want to iterate through all properties of this object, we can use a special form of the loop for. So here we have for variable hash, and here with the keyword in. So hash is the name of our object, and ename is can be Kim, can be Sam, can be Lynn. This is ename. So if I write hash.kim, that means I want to get the value of the property key of the object hash. So I can write hash.kim, or it's equivalent to write hash and after that kim, like this. So hash like an array. So the JavaScript object dot notation is actually shorthand for a more general associative array notation in which string are array indices. Let's move now to JavaScript arrays. So an array is a built-in object. Array is what's the meaning of built-in object? Built-in object. Not created. Built-in object, that means predefined object. Yes, from the language itself. Good. So built-in object, that means it is a predefined object from the language. So JavaScript offers us a built-in object array. That means we can write var, a name of a variable, equal new array. And the new array will be, so in this case we construct an array with a length equal 0, an empty array, and we can use to string sort shift many methods for this array. So the array built-in object can be used to construct objects with special properties and that inherit various methods. So when we write var array2 equal new array 4 true, okay. So what's the meaning of this instruction? Var array2 equal new array 4 true, okay. So good. Array2 is the name of our array, and 4 is the first value. True is the second value. So our array is like this. So how many elements in this array? Only 3. Yes. The first one is 4. The second one is true. And the third one is okay. So what is the difference between arrays in Java and arrays in JavaScript? Yes, here we can find many types, many different types in the same array. And like Java, so in Java we must use only one type for all the elements of the array. Yes, good. So we can write array var array2 equal new array 4 true, okay. This is the first manner, or this one, the second manner is to write like an array 4 true, okay, without a new array. And for multidimensional arrays, no, the array has not a fixed size in JavaScript. When we add, for example here, if we write array 2 4 equal Ahmed, so the size of the array will be increased and the number of elements will be 4, not 3. Yes, flexible size. So here when we write array 3 equal not 4. Array 3 equal minus 12.6. 3 will be here and the length will be 4. Also, if we write array2.length equal to, we decrease the length. So if we decrease the length of the array, automatically we delete elements. So if we want to delete all the elements in the array 2, we must write. So if we want to delete all the elements in the array, we must write. What is the instruction to be? Yes. So we must write array2.length equal not 2 but 0 here. If we write 0, that means this value and this value will be deleted. It's clear for you? Good. So, your attention please. If we write variable array4 equal new array and after that one value. So this value, it is not the first value, but it will be the length of the array. So calling constructor with single argument sets length does not create elements. It's clear? So if we write, for example, var array1 equal new array5. So array1 is an array with 5 elements. But if we write var array1 equal new array5 3, array1 will be an array with 2 elements. And if we write also var array1 equal 5 3 like this, array1 is an array with 2 elements. Yes. In the previous example, 200 will be the length. So if we create an array with one value, this value will set the length. So there are many methods to be used to manipulate arrays, like toString that return a string value representing this array, sort object, modify this array by sorting it. We can use splice number 0 any, modify this array by adding the third argument as an element as the index. Splice number modify the array by removing a number of elements. We can use push, we can use pop, we can use shift. So there are many methods that can be used to manipulate arrays in JavaScript. Any questions about this method? Good. So if, for example, we write var stack equal new array, and after that we write stack push h, stack push I, stack push exclamation mark, and after that we write a var c3 equals stack.pop. So we will pop, that means this value. C2 pop this value I, pop age, and when we write window.alert C1 plus C2 plus C3, the display will be high. So the global object in JavaScript is named window in browser and has property representing all global variables. Other built-in objects are also properties of the global object. For example, initial value of window.array is array object. Window.infinity represents number value, etc. So keep in mind that the global object in JavaScript is the object window. Let's move now to built-in objects. So string, boolean, and number built-in function can be called as constructors created wrapped objects. So what's the meaning of wrapped object? So wrapped object, that means an object that represents a primitive type. So string, boolean, and number in JavaScript are primitive types. Also null and undefined are primitive types. Only object is an object type. So the question is, if we want to create number as an object, or if we want to create string as an object, or boolean as an object and not primitive type, we talk about wrapped object. So wrapped object is an object that represents a primitive type. So to create this wrapped object, we can use the constructor string to create wrapped string, the construction boolean to create wrapped boolean, and the constructor number to create wrapped number. This is an example. We can write wrapped number equal a new number 5.625, and after that we can. So this is an object. And this object represents the number, this number 5.625. After that, we can use method to fix it to, for example, to get this output 5.63, or the second method to exponential to find this result, etc. Properties provided by number built-in object. For example, number.mean_value to get the smallest value, number.max_value to get the smallest, the max value. For string object, wrapped string object, we can use method like char at concat index of replace slice to lowercase to uppercase. So all this method can be used with by string instance. So we can manipulate strings by wrapped string. So we create string as an object. Also, date is a built-in object. It can be used to create date instance and represent the date and time. For example, we can write var now equal new date. That means we will create a variable now by using new date as a constructor. Math is also a built-in object, and in math we can use random, we can use sqrt, we can use cell, we can use many methods. So the predefined methods that can be used with a built-in object math, the built-in object math are apps, sale, cost, exp, floor, max, min, power, random, round, send, sqrt, ton, etc. So there are many methods offered by JavaScript to manipulate the object math. No, not all types to memorize, but you must memorize that math is a built-in object, string is a wrapped built-in object, Boolean also number are built-in object. You can also you must also memorize that date is a built-in object, etc. So the built-in object in Java, and after that in the study guide probably we will ask you to memorize some methods. Yes, the popular types. So let's move to regular expression. So regular expression, JavaScript provide us the opportunity to use regular expression. So regular expression use code. For example, if we want to represent the syntax of area code by 3-digit number, we can use /d 3 times, and /d represents the set 0 to 9. So this is a regular expression. So how we can use the regular expression? By using the constructor new regexp. So new regexp is to create regular expression, and after that we use the method test to test if a string is conform to our regular expression or not. This is the begin of our regular expression and the end of our regular expression. So you can find the code used to create regular expression. So the regular expression, we can use union, we can use star, we can use many things. Okay, just I want to save the attendance. Just a moment, please. I want to save attendance. See the okay.